You know what? One of the most challenging dishes I ever cooked, it's actually a Filipino dish, kare-kare. Making it really with the rice flour and with the grinded peanuts, that's so hard to burn, it's so easy to burn, and so hard to get it right.
Because it's
right?
very
And you really have to take a lot of attention to get this properly done. Right? And this was for me one of the most challenging dishes I ever did. Right? I mean, I don't cook much Filipino food. I will not say I'm an expert on it. Here and there I tried my hand on it.
Your wife is.
Yeah, of course, you know. So, but the sinigang, I think, when I cook sinigang at home, my wife always says, missing acidity. She wants it more sour, you know, and I don't know, this is, you know, I have to be, I do it a little bit my way, you know.
Right.
So I don't like it too sour. But I'm telling you, a sinigang, I remember my father was here in the Philippines, you know, and he said, you know what, all these German dishes I can eat at home. I want to have something like this, and I want to have at least one time sinigang ng baboy. And when he left, he took $10 sinigang mix with them to Germany because we don't have this there. Because he said, at least we get the flavor there and we can cook it ourselves.
Don't you have tamarind there? Don't you have tamarind?
Yes, but you know, they buying this mix, this ready mix, you know, because they like it, and $10 they took with them,
Right.
you know, and they really enjoy it. So Filipino food, you know, and I guess that's what you will do today. This is really something also we Germans like, you know, and especially if sauerbraten, yeah, we have also something like this. But especially as a chef, you have to be open-minded. You have to be open-minded. You have to try things. And I've been in so many different countries, you know, and I always try out to go out of the tourist areas and get the real flavor of the countries, because you get so many inspirations which you can use, which you can combine, or where you get new ideas. And this is so good, you know. So if ever somebody has the opportunity to travel in different countries, go out of the hotels, go out of the tourist areas, eat the food what the people eat, the street food.
Straße.
Yeah.
Straße essen?
Straßenessen, yeah.
Straßenessen,
yeah. And this helps a lot, you know, especially to gain experience as a chef.
So how do you find the similarities of Filipino food and German cuisine? What are the similarities aside from Filipinos' love for pork?
We have a lot of stews like here in the Philippines.
Because of the weather.
Because of the weather. Yeah, hearty dishes, well-seasoned, good seasoned dishes. Yeah, there's a lot of them very similar. We use a lot of cabbages like here in the Philippines.
Apples, right?
Apples also into food. There's differences, but there are a lot of similarities. I would keep it this way. You know, of course, the main starch here in the Philippines is rice. Our main starch is potatoes, right? But the love for pasta, for example, I mean, that's all over the world.
Exactly. Yeah. So, do you have any idea what I'll be cooking today?
No, not really.
Well, I will be making roast pork adobo paella. Because of the influx or the influence of the Spaniards here.
Ah, okay.
They have been around for 333 years.
Okay.
And they have so much influence on us.
Yeah.
What I want to do is to change the form, but still have the substance, the essence, and the flavors of the Filipino cuisine in there. So it's basically what I do even overseas, like advocating and promoting our own cuisine, but in a way that I spin it to be more acceptable to the world.
Let me just quickly put it in. You know, that's why I was one of the signatories in the petition to the World Cooks Association. That's adobo, which comes actually from Mexico.
Are you advocating it?
No, that's real true. I was one of the signatories. That adobo is considered a Filipino national dish. That's true. Right? Because it is so different. I've been in Mexico. I eat it over there. I eat it here. It's so different. This has nothing to do. That's only the word which might be the same.
Actually, Chef, that's what confuses me. Because I've read in some books and online that they also have adobo there. But I haven't tried Mexican adobo. I haven't been to Mexico. I haven't tried the Mexican adobo. What is the difference?
This is no soya sauce.
Okay.
It's a chili sauce.
Okay.
Right? And
like a mole?
Like a mole. Right? And it is more like, it is not really a stew.
Okay.
That's why I was thinking, okay, you want to make a adobo roast.
So how
so
is
this
it,
is more or
how is
less
it
how
cooked?
it is. Yeah, the meat is first grilled. It's basically boiling. First it's
Okay.
grilled. It's marinated
Yeah.
with the spices, very chili influenced, of course. And then it is cooked first on the grill, and then it is finished usually in an oven. Right, and so it's the only similarity, totally different. The only similarity is really the wort, right? And maybe people from Mexico brought it here, or Spanish people brought it here, but the Filipinos, you know, very creative people, even in the cuisine, you know, they adjusted it to their own personal liking, like so many things.
Right.
Right?
You know what? Something that I have learned from the people from, well, people who are 90 years old and above, from their stories from the war. Of course, they have different stories. This is regional. You know how it's like in the Philippines, and I think even in Germany, that people are very regional and territorial when it comes to their cuisine, right?
Yes.
Oh, you know, like my grandmother's cooking is the best, or my mother's cooking is the best, but you know, it's subjective. But what I have heard from people who are over 90 years old, who's been living during the times of war, is that adobo was created, of course, number one, from the barter system. Basically, the spices like the laurel and the peppercorns, of course, well, from the Spaniards.
Yeah.
And although they say that Filipino food doesn't have its own identity, I think I beg to differ. I think it's really more of like how old our country is as a nation. How did we start to become very civilized? That's how they count the age of your country, right? So basically, I agree with you. Adobo is our national dish.
Absolutely.
I think what I heard and what I was told is that it was created during the war.
Okay.
Just because basically you are actually pickling, fermenting it in vinegar.
Yeah,
so
sure,
you're cooking it
yeah.
in vinegar.
Yeah.
So you need your, like, you know, just like what Chef Gerd Menge said, you have to cook everything in acid, of course, and then you need to add salt. So if you want to, what do you call this? Shucks. If you want to lengthen the storage life or the shelf life of your food, you need to add acidity or salt.
Or salt
Or sugar.
to preserve it, to
or
kill
to dry
bacteria,
it out.
microorganisms in general.
So, and then they bottle it. So basically, it's just like how you do it. I would like to think it's the same with sauerbraten.
Yeah. You marinate it up till a week.
Right. So,
In vinegar, right? Or kimchi, even fermented, you know.
Or achara.
Sauerkraut, achara, pickled.
Yeah. So
fermented,
it's basically fermented, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually cooked in the acid.
Yep.
Right. So that's what I heard. So what the old people would do is that they would stock up, because they can cook during the war. They would stock up on it and they would put it in a jar and just bury it underneath the ground. So it sits in there for quite a while.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
It's actually more like stories. That's why I always say that I think Filipino food is more. Its image relies on its stories, not necessarily on its image, but on the stories of the people. The influence, of course, the experiences, and the stories. And it comes together, which creates its own image or its distinct flavor as one. What puts together? What puts it together? Right?
Very interesting. Very interesting. I never looked at an angle like this. I only looked at it. No, it's good, or it's not my taste. No. So I never looked really into the historical aspect, but it makes absolutely sense, right?
Yeah. Because I would also think that kimchi was made this way, that they bury it.
Yeah, for preservation. Preservation.
So during the winter when people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Now I will be making that, and then what will I do? Normally, I'd make an aioli out of it. So I can make it either with foie gras, which I don't have now, but I will be making the roast pork, adobo paella. I'll be using all Filipino flavors, but in the form of a paella.
Okay.
Are you ready to cook?
Yeah, me, yes. I have my stuff all ready. I can do it.
You're always ready.
I guess so, yes.
But here's the thing.
What?
I'm not sure if you're ready for it, but please don't embarrass me.
No,
We're both wearing the uniform.
Okay.
We're gonna switch recipes. We're gonna switch dishes.
What do you mean?
You'll be cooking the adobo paella, and I will be making the pork mince and the spätzle.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
Now you want to embarrass me, I guess. I mean, me as a German cooking Filipino food.
Yes.
Okay.
And me, Filipino cooking German food.
Okay. I have to think.
What is the problem?
This is coming out of the blue. I don't really. Whew. I mean, paella, good. I know how to cook a paella,
Are you
but
nervous now?
yeah, sure. Now, okay, an adobo roast. Okay, I have to absolutely change my mindset.
With no recipes.
With no recipes. Okay, so
I can
put a little bit my own touch in. All right, all right, all right.
But I will do my best to create or recreate your grandmother's recipe.
Okay, but if I need your help, you help me.
Yes, and if
At
you
least with advice.
Kann ich mir helfen?
Yeah, sicher.
Will ich dir
I will go on my knees. I will go on my knees.
Now you have to start cooking.
Okay.
It's your turn first.
So my turn first. Okay, then, okay. So I have to switch. So the first thing what I would do with this is, what is the first thing I would do?
Chef. Go for it.
So I have the pork here.
Yes.
I need a bun, which is a nice, beautiful, let me see what you have, a nice, beautiful pork belly. And you can see here still the ribs in. Now, normally when I roast, I would truss with the help of a butcher twine to keep it in shape.
Right.
But since here the bones is in, and bones give you flavor, I mean, we use bones to make stocks. I'm just thinking out loud right now. I would keep this right away in. A, this keeps me the whole thing in shape. B, it adds me additional flavor, really good, intense pork flavor. It is scored, trellised, Christmas mark. This makes the best thing. You know, the cracklings. You know, what you call chicharron, right? So the first thing what I would do with this pork belly is, of course, we need to marinate it. With soy sauce.
Are you sure?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
This is you 11 years ago. Are you sure about that?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So I will put my glasses on.
Okay.
So I don't want to be too stingy.
Okay.
Because we're using local one, local soy sauce.
No, this local one is very flavorful.
Yeah, because this is it's a Filipino dish, so I didn't want to use any Japanese or Vietnamese or whatever soy sauce. I will use this one, as well as a little bit, of course, vinegar.
Oh, this is cane vinegar. I just put it in a different container, but that's local vinegar.
Vinegar.
Cane vinegar.
The issue is, do I get the mixture right? I know.
Normally, my ratio would be 3 parts acid,
Okay.
2 parts soy sauce, and 1 part fish sauce. I like to
Okay,
add
so
some
you put
funkiness.
much more vinegar.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to be too stingy. And then we're going to put, of course, laurel, bay leaves.
Yeah.
This is very important. As well as a little bit chopped garlic. And then you should marinate this. I want to up the garlic really into the openings. Yeah, a little bit. I like garlic, you know. I like garlic. Yeah, I love it. It's good, it's healthy, it's good for the blood, you know. So, and we will put also a little bit fish sauce, patis. But only a little, because otherwise it might get
Do you
to...
love patis?
In certain ways, for certain dishes, yeah, for like an ilaga, I always put a little bit, or in the tinola I put a little bit. So now this pork needs actually marinating. You can do this actually also overnight. But before I put this in the fridge for marinating, I want to taste first a little bit my marinating mixture. Because I don't know if this is good or if it is not good. Of course, it's always on the strong side, yeah, because it will penetrate the pork. If it's just okay, then you don't get really good flavor, and you need this flavor. So let's see. I don't know why I'm blowing. It's cold, right? think
What?
I want to have a little bit more soy sauce. So, some people put also sugar.
Yeah.
I noticed from home, some people put sugar to compensate or cope a little bit with the acidity and to give this sweet sour note. So I would love to put a little bit sugar in.
Do you like sugar?
I like sugar in certain ways, but I'm not a sweet.
You're not a sweet guy.
I don't put sugar, for example, into my coffee or into a tea.
Yeah, of course.
But I put honey into a tea, right? Sugar, no, in the coffee not. But for certain things, sugar is just, let's put it this way, it's necessary. You know, I love sweet cakes. You know, in this matter, I'm a sweetie. You know, good cookies and a cake in the afternoon with the coffee, always. So a little bit sugar. We shouldn't put too much because you want to make a roast, and you know, roasting starts at 200 to 220 degrees oven temperature. If you don't have an oven at home, you can use how you call this? Turbo broiler.
Can they also use a pan, chef, to sear it first?
You can sear it first in a pan, right? Then the oil needs to be piping hot, 200 degrees, almost smoked, or anyway, smoking already, so with smoke. To sear it quickly, so all the juice stays inside. It cooks faster. It cooks faster, and all the flavors stay inside, which I have injected into this by marinating it.
Right.
So I guess with this one we are good. And for the time being, I will put it into the refrigerator. So cut.
Then?